Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
That is your phone ring. Ah, there's Braylon Edwards in the end zone. Wouldn't that be cool? Take that and use it as your flip phone or your phone.
Yeah.
When it rings. That would be awesome. Or at least if a certain person calls you, use that as the ringtone. That would be fantastic. That happened to me once.
Yeah.
Dan Dockich
Okay.
used to coach at Indiana.
Yeah.
His son, Andrew, played at Michigan. He hit a baseline jumper for his first shot ever. And he said, I use that as my call. When my son calls me, that's the. You should do that with Brent's call. Sorry to jump you there. It's a Monday. I just popped into my head. Go ahead.
You know what else popped in is us to the show. What's going on? It's the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
I love that
Getting
call.
it started. Typically, this is what happens
Love that
behind the scenes. But sometimes we preview to what's going on in the conversation. So I do like that. If I were to get a ringtone based off somebody's call, then it would be Mike Tirico, the Michigan State 2004. So
Okay, that's fine too.
kind of goes without saying.
Go back and get that. Yeah.
100%,
Yeah, and he
right?
did a great job as always yesterday, despite Chris Collinsworth. So
Snooze guy.
Yeah. So kudos to Mike Tirico, the
Got a new guy in the
best
booth.
in the business. Yeah.
Introduce Ryan.
Yeah. Hey Ryan.
What's going on, Ryan?
What up,
Specs
though,
Howard
Ryan?
in the building, getting you back in the studio. How's it feel so far? What's
It's
up?
great. It's been a long time coming. I'm
Yeah.
just so excited to be here with you guys. Post Super Bowl Sunday.
There we
Can't
go.
wait to get into it.
Yeah.
And,
Not much to get into, but we'll try.
Welcome, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
you're
what
gonna
a boy.
like
We'll
this
try.
family. You'll like this family.
Yeah.
Trust me. You'll like this family. Kool-Aid's the man. Braylon's the dad. You'll love it. Okay. So I promise, if you don't like this family, you're gonna have a hard time fitting in anywhere in life. would be
Speaking of
my
that,
guess.
my right hand, Brandon Kool-Aid, they're in the
Hey,
building.
what up,
Kool-Aid,
though,
what's the
man?
word, my guy?
Chilling, brother. We got a Pistons stream tonight. We haven't done one of those in a couple weeks. so
Okay,
we're looking
shout
forward
out.
to it.
What time
Friday
you
will be
What
the
time
best.
is starting?
Hey, right at game time.
Hey,
right at game
wait a minute. You didn't do it
From
Friday?
here?
What'd you say?
You didn't do it Friday?
Not Friday. For me, Fridays is a day of rest.
Dude, let me tell
where
you,
it
you should have
starts.
done it Friday, because here's what they did to the Knicks.
Yeah, they,
Chef's excited.
I
Chef's hype. Little
hey,
BTA.
get the hell out of here, by the way. 31 one night, 38 the next. I pulled a groin. Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
absolutely put a work in
I
them,
was
man.
I was at that game. They kicked the living snot out of them. And then yesterday, you know what I did?
Right.
I thought, I want to see how the Knicks and Celtics play. And what happened there? The Knicks kicked the crap out of the
did.
Celtics.
They did. How much of that, and obviously we'll get into who won the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's
Good luck. Good
think
luck
it's-
on that
think
tonight
it's-
there.
think
Cool.
it's pretty easy.
Thank
Who won the
you.
Super Bowl, you
I
know what
like
I'm saying?
that,
One of
yeah.
my former squads. But just thinking about the Pistons. Now they blow the Knicks out second time in the season. I think in the 2 wins they beat them by 68 or 69 points in total, or 60. Maybe it is 60. No OG Anunoby, no Karl Anthony Towns. What does that do for the win? Anything, or you're still happy? It still does a lot for you.
No Jalen Duren.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking these things.
Yeah. It doesn't faze me one bit. I mean, we can use the excuse who they didn't have.
Yeah.
When Detroit doesn't have Duren, when Detroit didn't have Tobias Harris, when Detroit didn't have Cade Cunningham, go look at their record. Their record is really good. This is where I think depth matters
Facts
most.
on that one.
Okay. And this is not being a homer here. This is, I mean, Kool-Aid would be saying this. You might be going, when I'm saying it, I hope there's a little something more like that. There's no way
And
he's
I've been true
siding
and
there.
honest with the
Okay,
people.
okay. Well, or let's be honest. I think this team should be mentioned as the best team in the NBA. Okay, look at the way Oklahoma City's playing. Okay, the same two teams have 13 losses. Oklahoma City's got 2 more wins. All right. Why are we afraid? Not we, but why are people hesitant? Not afraid. Why are people hesitant to say that about the Pistons this year?
Whether they're the best team in the East? 'Cause I don't
Best
think-
team in the NBA.
Best team in the NBA, because I think it goes back to the conversation that we were having last week. They still haven't done it in the playoffs. I understand that benchmark is, you can't figure that out until you get there and see what happens. But they haven't done it in the playoffs. Whenever you talk about them, it's you got to strike this year because set player isn't playing, because set player isn't playing. By those players, Jason Tatum won't be available.
Right.
Mike Brown's the head coach. You know they didn't want him in New York. They're a disarray. Tyrese Halliburton's not playing the season. The Pacers, and they made some moves. This is a year for you to capitalize in the East. When you're having conversation like this means you guys could win because of these things not being the case. I think the fact that you still conversate like that, you can win because he's not playing. You can win because he's not playing. Also, this is your time to strike hot, et cetera, et cetera. When you're having conversations like this, and when we add to it on a day-to-day basis, they still need a guy that you can go and feel that can give you 28, that can give you 30. When you have conversations
Besides Kate Cunningham.
Besides Kate Cunningham, 100%, he's an MVP running. When you have conversations like this about your ball club, then it's like there's something missing to make you feel like you're over there.
I think you're right about that. As you say that, I reflect back on how my feelings and why maybe I've been a little hesitant. So I'll give you that. Right. I think the other part of that is that the obvious answer is Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And I think it matters because they're the reigning champs, as you pointed out. And they feel, because it's been promoted this way as a three-headed monster with Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
Okay? When you've got those three guys, one is the MVP, one's the Defensive Player of the Year, or at least in the consideration, and the other one is one of the more talented big men, Chet Holmgren, in the NBA. People will look at the Pistons and say, where's your hardware?
Yeah.
They've got at your high school, you've got plenty of hardware, right, with your name on it. You go to Michigan, you go to Schembechler Hall, there's Braylon Edwards and there's John Jansen. There's a bunch of big names there, okay? Where's the Pistons hardware? That's what they might be looking for. Yeah, so I understand that.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
True. Pistons, no hardware yet. We'll see what happens in June. Maybe that'll change. But last night, Seattle added some hardware to their collection.
Really impressive, right? I mean, was it boring, or could you really enjoy it?
No, it was boring.
Okay.
And it's okay to say that it was boring.
Okay.
Like, legitimately, the score at halftime was 9-0. There was no momentum on the New England Patriots side of the ball. They couldn't get anything going on offense. There was some good defense played by Christian Gonzalez and some of the guys on the defensive side of the ball for the Patriots. But there also wasn't any motion on the Seattle side. So it was in the first half. It wasn't like, all right, well, Seattle's doing their thing. They're kicking butt. They're scoring touchdowns. They're scoring points. Sam's doing this. And they're just blowing the Patriots out. Yeah. No. Seattle was bad on offense, too, in the first half. They were bad as relates to third down, so that was boring on their side. 9-0 is your score at halftime, so it was definitely a boring Super Bowl. Picked up in the fourth quarter, but boring up until that point.
And you're not the kind of guy who needs a bunch of scoring to be entertained.
No, okay. I just need some back and forth, some parity.
I need first downs. I need to show the ability, at least to show the ability.
How did you get here?
To move the football, right?
Like, how did you get here?
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, when I watched the game, when I was done watching the game, before we even talk about the game and get into it and the plays and things, when I watched that game, I'm looking at from August to that last night, if I'm looking at the NFL and where they are,
Yeah. A few things.
It's an ugly season. It's ugly playoffs.
A few things last night. And first of all, I missed you. I wanted to text you so often during that game. Like, hey, should he have caught that pass? There's a couple there. Is that sack on the O-line, or do you think it's really on Drake May? I thought the fourth sack was really on Drake May. He held the ball too long. I wasn't in the habit of, I've never been in the habit of giving special teams players MVPs. Desmond Howard against Green Bay.
Jason Myers.
But Jason Myers had 5 field goals. And not that I would ever consider Michael Dixon the MVP, but he had 7 punts, 48-yard average, 3 dropped inside the 6, only 2 punts returned for 4 yards, and multiple really good holds on bad kicking situations. I thought he played a really integral role.
Yeah.
And it shows you how important the 3 phases of football really are, I thought, because I thought Seattle was better on the special teams.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and their special teams coach is none other than Jay Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's true.
It was like University of Michigan West last night. There was 6 players on the team and then 3 former coaches. So I guess it wasn't all Connor Stallions.
Yeah.
Anyway, getting back to it, yeah, like they made plays, and their MVP is us talking about them today.
Yeah.
Like us talking about Jason Myers, us talking about the punter what was his name again?
Michael Dixon.
Michael Dixon had the best punting performance in Super Bowl history. Not kinda, not really good. It's the best punting performance ever. Jason Myers made the most field goals ever. They could have split it if you want to. But with that being said, he scored 15 points. You look at what the Patriots were able to do, which wasn't much. They still scored 14.
Right.
And when you look at, you talk about moving the chains, moving the ball, getting it down, that guy was Kenneth Walker. He was the bell cow. It was the bell cow last week. He was the bell cow the week before that. I believe Kenneth Walker earned MVP honors, kind of what he did in the game, but more so what he did the whole playoff run. No Zach Sharper ain't fine. I'm going to go out there. Last week, I think he had 186 total yards. The week before that, it was 170 total yards. And in this one, it was another 170-yard performance in which he was able to not score, but put you in some good situations and get you down there to use Jason Myers' leg.
Yeah, had a score taken back because of a hold, and it clearly
That
was
would
a
have been
hold.
over 200.
Yeah, I tweeted this out. I really think you can't give it to an entire unit. Yes, I said unit.
Defensive
but
line.
it would be, well, I thought the secondary was just good too. I thought Witherspoon and those guys were fantastic. So I would have said the whole Seattle defense, you can't do that, so it's obvious that Walker's going to get it. I thought Mike McDonald had his team so well prepared, and it just goes to show you, another thing that I wanted to text you last night, when you can rush with 4,
Yeah.
all bets are off. That's the key, I think, moving forward. If people are looking for a reason, and we'll pull this into Detroit's territory now, if you're looking for a reason why you think this team needs another D end, it's right there. You press with 4 and make that Q uncomfortable, no matter whether he's mobile or not. Drake May can move. He was uncomfortable all night long. That's the difference in the game, I thought.
Yeah, 100%. You know, you look what that defense was able to do. Kayshon Boutte could not get open. Demario Douglas could not get open. Stephon Diggs could not get open. Mac Hollins, and even that one play, it was covered. It was a hell of a play that he made, could not get open.
Hunter Henry could not get open.
Hunter Henry could not get open. Like, these guys were locked down. You look at what the defense did for the Seattle Seahawks, we got to start with this. Everybody won their man-to-mans.
Yeah.
Everybody was better than their opposition. Offensive line, they were better than the defensive line. Well, maybe that's the only thing that you can see is the offensive line for Seattle. Outside of that, lights out. Lights out all around that defense. They beat every single man-to-man. They beat every coverage they had. They beat every situation, every schematic thing that Josh McDaniels wanted to do. They weren't here for it, and they made it hard for those guys. It was a tough outing for them, and you knew after about the third series that the game was over. Like, in fact, after the third series is when I thought back and I said, that this is why Sean McVay was so mad. Because whoever was coming out of the NFC this year was going to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Sean McVay was pissed at that press conference when he said, not the loss to the Patriots is the most grueling loss. It's this one in the NFC Championship. It had nothing to do with the Seattle Seahawks being in their division. It was the fact he knew this was a guaranteed win. It was only a matter of time, and that's what happened for Seattle.
Two
Sam
teams
Darnold played not to lose.
Two teams combined for 10 for 31 on third downs. And
That
you said
wasn't
last
good,
week,
Seattle.
third down, they'd be able to convert on third down is one of the major things that who's ever going to win the running game, you said, and third down conversions. Those two keys, and it played out just like that.
Outside of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, who I definitely want to get to Josh Allen at some point. Outside of Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills, and Matt Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams, every team in this playoffs, including the two teams that were in there, playing a very similar way. We have really, really good defense. Two elite defenses in this game. 4 elite defenses 2 weeks ago in the conference
Denver.
round.
Yeah.
100%. We're going to play great defense and try not to make mistakes and try to let the quarterback not muck it up.
Yeah.
That was this year's playoffs, with the exception of those two teams.
And shove the ball down your throat.
100%.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to use our big offensive linemen, and we're going to use our fleet of foot running backs to shove it right down your throat.
Just look how that game played out. Now, I understand that Sam Darnold missed some throws. He wasn't good yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. He was not. He was good enough to win because you know what? He didn't turn the ball over. There was a couple plays. One, he gets the first down on a run. One, he steps up in the pocket, makes the throw a couple times. So he wasn't that good, but he did those plays. But both teams coming to this game had the same plan. We're going to play elite defense. Elite defense. and we're going to try to keep it close, and then we're going to wait for the other team to make the mistake.
Yeah.
And that's what the Patriots tried to do. They didn't change anything. Nothing was working for them offensively. They didn't change anything. They didn't try to bring Travion Henderson in the game and get the ball on the perimeter. They stayed away from that. They didn't try to throw tunnel screens, which typically work for them. They didn't try
Why do you think that is? Because of Seattle's
Seattle
speed?
was just too good.
Yeah.
Like Seattle was too good, and so they kept Drake May from hurting himself until at the end, finally you're like, we got to try something. So they kept him as close as they could. They didn't try anything crazy. They didn't try to get down the field. Now when it's 12-zip, 8 minutes left in the game, we got to try something. And as soon as they try something, what happens? Sack, strip, fumble, interception. I think that's what that play was called. Then he also throws the interception to Love. And then here comes this interception once they allow him to do something. So Seattle just waited for it. They said at some point, they'll give us the game. They'll give us a moment. And once they did, it's like the floodgates open.
Help me with this then. As a coach, how do you think, and as a player when you're thinking about this, when the other team is taking away what you want to do? Like you just mentioned, the tunnel screens, swinging it out to Travion Henderson. They might have done that once or twice, but not nearly enough, right? If the other team is preventing you from doing that, how quickly do you have to recognize that, shift gears, and go into lack of a better word, plan B?
Yeah, Shep, like realistically, I don't know from that experience because I've never seen a situation where it just was over from the word go. Like there's not too much in my estimation that Mike Vrabel could do. There wasn't too much. Josh McDaniels has been in this spot. How many Super Bowls has Josh McDaniels been the offensive coordinator for? Yeah. How many times now he's used to having Tom Brady, but he's still been in these moments. He's still been in these spots. Vrabel has been in these spots. He knew right away what this was, and at this particular point, you can see that your guy, your young quarterback, year 2, Drake May, he's just not equipped to deal with this moment right now, and you don't have enough. All you can try to do is put him in decent enough spots, lean on your defense, which is the reason why you got there, and hope a play happens.
Hope you can get a turnover.
Hope you can get it. Sometimes you look at it and say, hey, look, this is year 2. Hey, you just overwhelmed. I don't think there's anything we could do at this point. Let's try to protect him as much as we can and see if something shakes. And nothing ever shook.
Anybody change the narrative for you? I mean, you had mentioned Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam Darnold now has as many Super Bowls as Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and Matthew Stafford and Ken Stabler and guys like that. I don't know if he changed the narrative. Here's what I do know. You can't take that away from him. I know Jeff Hostetler's got one. I know Trent Dilfer's got one. I know all that, all right? But what that dude did this year, I give him a ton of credit for being able to battle through this stuff mentally. That's not an easy thing to do when everybody says you're not good enough and we've given up on you, except, as he said in the postgame, his parents. He may not have been great yesterday, and he wasn't. He made a big throw, to A.J. Barner for a touchdown that was needed, the first touchdown of the game. And he's been really good, you said, in the playoffs. Yeah,
that was their only touchdown on offense.
Offensively, yeah.
100%. Starting with Drake May, first thing I thought and laughing kind of as it was halftime was like, man, this dude was like 1 vote for winning MVP. It's like, damn. Like, this is why certain conversations matter. Like when you say
they do.
They've played the easiest schedule. Well, you can't get mad at them for playing who's in front of them. No, but you can judge a little harder, a little harsher, or a little differently, if you will. Getting to the Sam Darnold thing, I don't think it changes the narration. No, he's not elite. No, this does not move him into the top 7, the top 8. No, it doesn't do that. No, this does not make him a Hall of Famer. No, this is not going to make him, he's arrived. He's here. It's none of that.
Just like Matthew Stafford.
It's not, but it's different. It's different. Different conversation. But with Sam Darnold, you can give him the credit for being resilient. You can give him the credit for maybe going places that didn't have guys that could mold him into what he could be, not help him, whether it was the Jets, whether it was Carolina, or the Rams, et cetera. As it relates to Sam Darnold, that conversation, none of that changes. But what you can do is point out to the last 2 years, somebody is willing to stick into the fight. When somebody has something, when they get with the right people, you can bring it out of, and they can do enough. You look at last year, 14 wins with Kevin O'Connell and the Minnesota Vikings. They get to the playoffs. They lose in the first round. He doubles back this year, another 14 wins. They win the division. They get to the playoffs. More so what this told me is not Sam Darnold, not about that. It's about all that's around him. Everybody wants to flip this with Sam Darnold. Now the conversation, Kool-Aid, now the conversation, Ryan, is, well, he did it. Jared Goff can do it.
Right.
What it's told me is in order to win, GM, head coach, everything has to come together the right way. I think the conversation we try to make with Jared Goff is, well, Goff can win the Super Bowl. Well, this shows me he can do it. Well, Nick Foles won it so Goff can do it. It's not about just Goff. You got to pay attention to the whole of the equation. What that game told me yesterday is if I can get a GM to draft the right way, trust the draft picks as pillars, whether it's Tariq Woolen, whether it's Witherspoon, whether it's Byron Murphy, and also, whether it's K9, whether it's offensive line Charles Cross, who didn't play in the game due to injury, but is a damn good draft pick, but also they added free agents to it, whether it's acquiring Leonard Williams, whether it's acquiring Rashid Shaheed at the trade deadline, whether it's acquiring Ernest Jones IV, who had an all-pro year for him this year. I know it was a couple years ago. They added through the free agency. They added through the draft. They put the team in place so you don't put all the pressure and everything on the shoulders of Sam Darnold. So the conversation is the same with Goff. Like, as least as you can put on his shoulders, the better he can be. Because when you make Jared Goff the guy that has to win you the Super Bowl, has to win you the NFC Championship, has to get you through the playoff rounds, that's not the quarterback he is. Defense.
Yes.
Defense. You got to get that man to defense.
DeMarcus Lawrence was a big pickup for them.
DeMarcus Lawrence, 100% from the Cowboys, who told the Cowboys, you can't win here. And they got mad at him, called him a clown.
Not the way you do it now. You can't win here, right?
Called him a clown, called him all those things. So as it relates to Goff and Sam Darnold, Detroit Lions, get your defense together. You have to have a defense. Going through offense is not going to work. All the teams that have won the Super Bowl in the last 10 years, you can go back, is defense. Because for as good as Patrick Mahomes was, go ahead and look at those defenses with Frank Clark. Go ahead and look at Tyrann Mathieu. Go ahead and look at L'Jarius Sneed. Go ahead and look at Chris Jones. Like, look at that. The Los Angeles Rams. I know Stafford threw 3 touchdowns. I also saw those 6 sacks by Von Miller and Aaron Donald and company.
That's right.
Eagles last year, yes, Jalen Hurts, not necessarily the best quarterback, but that defense, and that offensive line.
It's
put him
just
in
not sexy, man. I mean,
100%.
Look, this is not a knock on any of the skill position players because I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love Sam Laporta and stuff. But we say this pretty regularly. We want the fat guys in the huddle. They will determine it. Now, the Lions know that. That's the surprising thing about what happened this year. The Lions built their success for 2 straight years. That was one in the NFC Championship game and one was a 15-2 record. They built it on those big guys up front. And then they took it for granted. I don't want to say they overstepped or they didn't look at it close enough, but they took it for granted. And that has to get the mindset has to be back to that. Start dwelling on those guys instead of all the other guys who are designing dances in the flipping end zone. That's what I want.
I agree, and I think, Braylon, you were cooking. And obviously, if you want the best out of Jared Goff, it does start with what's right in front of him, and that defense has to be good. I still sit here, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think he's had a defense as good as some of the ones Matthew Stafford got. As bad as they put things around Stafford, Stafford had some pretty nice defense.
No, he had one.
13.
He had one. This is very well documented. That was ranked second in the NFL. Yeah. Okay, second. After that, everything else was at 15 or below. There might have been one like at 11. But in his tenure, and I'm not making excuses for him, but in his tenure, he had one really, really good defense.
I know, and it was still better than Goff's. And when you pair that with last year's and then the fall off the year before that, that's where you look at this thing. And I agree with Bray saying you got to get this defense right. Every year we're talking about how vicious the defenses are of the teams that are winning the Super Bowls and the teams that are making it and the teams that are tearing their way through this thing. And because with Goff, and you look at Sam Darnold, you go back to the year that the Lions fell about 20 minutes short of a Super Bowl, you look at Sam Darnold's numbers, and they look just like Goff's numbers from that year. I think with Sam Darnold, what it was about really was getting out of his own head and not making that big mistake. 14 interceptions in the regular season, 1 interception, I believe, during the postseason.
With Sam Darnold?
Yeah.
0.
0 during the postseason?
Yeah.
0.
They didn't turn Seattle's the first team in history not to turn the ball over in the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. So that'll tell you something. And as far as Goff's defense, last year they were not this season. Last year they were 7th in the league in points per game against. the defense was. Okay, they were number 1 in football in offense, but they were number 7 in defense. I suppose it depends on what numbers we're looking at. I know you're shaking your head because I keep bringing up numbers.
I'm just shaking my head because none of those players off that defense that was number 1 could do anything when it mattered because they weren't really cut like that. Those numbers are skewed because of how good that offense was for the Detroit.
Oh no,
Lions.
I didn't say they were number 1. I said the offense was 1, the defense was 7.
What I'm telling you is the defense sucked. That defense sucked. Like when you're playing ahead the majority of your games, when you're blowing people out and teams are playing, they're passing the whole game. That's what that was. I've had this conversation before 2 years in a row. Lions defense was not good in 23 and it wasn't good in 24. But if you look at the numbers, you look at the stats, it'll say, well, they were this and they were that. No, they weren't. They were that predicated on being ahead. They were blowing teams out. Their starters weren't even playing in the fourth quarter of a lot of games in 23 and 24, so it skews kind of like that defense. The defense was not good. Those weren't defenses.
Well, 24, I mean, that's when Kirby Joseph led the league in interceptions.
Yep.
So they had the best, I would say, the best safety duo in all of football. Lee McNeil got huge money out of that type of season. Obviously.
24?
Yeah.
Yeah, what they do in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, I get that, but that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about whether or not the defense was good, and I think the defense was good.
And
now, I'm not saying it was
disagree.
great. I didn't say it was great, but the defense was pretty damn good. They were ranked 7th. You don't want the ranking, that's fine. The numbers associated with that defense and some of the players on that defense were good enough. Carlton Davis was pretty damn good. That, as I mentioned, the safeties were really good. And Lee McNeil was really good. Aiden Hutchinson was good until he got hurt. I do believe they had some guys there who were worth talking about, and it was a pretty damn good defense overall.
If that defense was that good, then the Washington Commanders, when they came in your house, kicked your ass and put up numbers like that. If that defense was that good, but they weren't, and that's why when they played, that team wasn't even that good that particular year offensively. But he came in here.
Washington, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah,
they made plays and they kicked your ass all across the field.
Yeah.
Like, if your defense was good, that doesn't happen. You don't lose as a number 1 seed at home. They weren't good. That's what they got to focus on. Got to focus on some defense. As it relates to turnovers, that is the one thing in this conversation that Jared Goff can't change. Jared Goff can't block for himself. Jared Goff can't go on the opposite side of the ball and go get sacks. He can't play safety either. But what he can do is not turn the ball over. Because that's what Sam Darnold did extremely well in the playoffs. He did not force the play. He took what was there. He had some bad throws. Hell, it happens. It's football. He didn't force the turnover. He didn't force situations and put his team at risk. He did not turn the ball over. He played to the defense. But to Jared Goff's credit, what defense am I playing to?
Yeah. Amen to that. I agree with all that for the most part. Again, the Washington thing, look, they had the 7th best offense that year. Not that was great. Detroit did turn it over 5 times. Okay, that's not always on your defense. Okay, that puts you in a really bad spot. If you're going to use the example of, well, the offense is putting you and you're not even playing in the fourth quarter, then you also got to at least acknowledge that offense puts you in a tough bind when they're turning it over in that game.
What I will acknowledge is 2 playoffs in a row, the Detroit Lions were giving up 450 yards or more in those games. They gave it up to the Rams, who they beat. They gave it up to the Bucks, who they beat. They gave it up to the 49ers, who they lost to. And they gave it up to the Commanders the following season. So defense is the conversation that we're having right now, and I think we both agree on that.
Yeah.
Got to get that defense together going into 2026.
Without question. But you did bring up the MVP. Drake May against Seattle looked lost, and it didn't help that his offensive line, his 2 rookies on the left side, were getting browbeaten on a regular basis. Will Campbell. I mean, that is allowing 14 pressures in a game is almost unheard of. Penei Sewell, I think, allowed 15 all season long, 15 or 17 all season long. That's a 17-game schedule. Just for perspective, and this will piss some people off in our Woodward Sports Chat family. Matthew Stafford played Seattle 3 times this year. He threw for 961 yards, 8 touchdowns, and no picks.
Yep.
Now, his offensive line was better, okay, so that's a big deal. But still, he didn't turn it over. He threw 8 scores. He put up big numbers on the scoreboard for the most part in 2 of the 3 games. I don't know if that legitimizes the MVP. It's just a number I want people to associate with as you move forward with that discussion down the road. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if there was anybody else with the numbers that he had, with the games he had, with the wins he had, Shep, they wouldn't have had a problem with the conversation him winning MVP. The only reason why we're having this conversation for Not everybody in the chat. Not everybody in the city of Detroit. But for most of you, it's because his name was Matt Stafford.
Right.
There's no way you can see what he did this year. Just substitute Matt Stafford and make that Justin Herbert. MVP. Next guy, MVP. Lamar Jackson, MVP. Patrick Mahomes, MVP. Whoever else you want to put, if they had that type of year, like Seattle's defense was insane this season. Yeah. And we got a chance to see that this whole playoff. To not throw an interception and to also have 900 plus and also have, was it 9 touchdowns or more?
Eight touchdowns is
8
what
touchdowns?
I had. Could be more. Could be more. Could be
Those
9.
3 games alone is why you look at it and say, good job.
Yeah,
MVP.
3, and 2.
I got to read this because the chat name is pretty legendary. $5 super chat from She Loves Me on Payday.
Oh, I love that.
I like that. He says, last night proved why Stafford deserved MVP over May. Stafford balled against that same defense in 3 games this season.
That's a good point.
That's
when
facts.
we just
She Loves Me on Payday.
We just I love that name. we just have that associated. I was thinking about when you played in Seattle and the guys you've always bring up, Cam Chancellor and stuff. Is that?
That's my last touchdown in the NFL, and it was against the Patriots.
Oh, I like it. I like it. You look good there. You look like you're confident. Now you look like you're maybe just resting just a little bit. Compare that Seattle defense last night to some of the guys you played with in Seattle. Can you?
That defense is better last night. Ooh. I think the defense last night is better
than Bobby Wagner, Cam Chancellor, those guys, Richard Sherman.
Yeah, because it's also too. That's also too a young Bobby Wagner who hasn't gotten to the best. I'm talking about this. I would take this one. I think
Bobby Wagner.
I think at the DB position they're better because they have 2 DBs that are stout. Like everybody throws Richard Sherman out there. Who was the other DB for Seattle? Don't worry, I know you know. I'll tell you. It's Jeremy Lane.
Oh.
Jeremy Lane is the other guy on the opposite side. So you got Jay Lane, Sherman. Now, obviously, when you get to the safeties, I think Earl's probably Earl was the best. He was the best player on the defense at that time. Bobby eventually, once he became that guy, but Earl was the best player on that defense. But last night, they do it in every level, man. Ernest Jones, that's defense. Then you have Leonard Williams on the defensive line. You have DeMarcus Lawrence defensive line. You have Byron Murphy on the defensive line. Like, their defensive line is better than the Legion of Boom, if you will. The better DB than the Legion of Boom. Linebacker core, Ernest Jones the 4th versus Bobby Wagner. That might be a wash, considering how good Ernest Jones' season was this year. At the end of the day, they're both super talented. I mean, I think they both did something that not a lot of teams have done in the Super Bowl, but I'm going to have to go Legion of Boom just based off the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like what they did to Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl after they had broken all the records. Yeah, Legion of Boom.
Yeah, just absolutely owned them. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
This wasn't bad, though.
Yeah, you had mentioned the defense, and it's so true. When you look at, and again, it's just, all I'm looking at is points per game against. Just look at the last 5 years. The teams that are going deep or at least are threat in the playoffs. In 2021, lowest scoring defense was Buffalo. In 2022, it was San Francisco and Philadelphia. In 2023, it was Kansas City and Cleveland. In 2024, it was Philadelphia. This year, it was Houston. But Seattle's right up there. New England's right up there. Denver's right up there. I know there's the cliche, defense wins championships. There's a reason it's a cliche. Is because it oftentimes fits, right?
It does, and it fits when championship time comes up. Like who can play, who can get a stop? Which defense can get a stop? Which defense, if you need in a moment, if you need in the pinch, can come? Like which defense, if there's a turnover, now there's sudden change, who can come out there and say, it's all good offense, we got it. You guys threw an interception, don't worry about it. You guys fumbled, don't worry about it, we got this. And play with that type of fire to where you're not having to do much. Like Seattle, with the exception of the Rams game, did not have to do much this playoffs. Right. They blew the 49ers out and they blew the Patriots out. They didn't have to do much. The Patriots on offense, they didn't do anything in the playoffs. Their defense was elite. Drake May didn't do anything against the Broncos. He didn't do anything against the Chargers. He didn't do anything against in second round of the playoffs. It's the defense.
Yeah, it is the defense. If you look at what New England has done in the playoffs this year, in their drives, all right, in the playoffs this year, 53 drives for New England. They averaged 1.13 points per drive in those games. The Browns that went 0 and whatever in 2017 averaged 1.2 in their drives. So that gives you an idea. Sure, defense wins championships. You still have to score a little bit.
Is this the most? That's not fair. But I'm asking anyway.
Yeah.
Is this the most undeserving team to make a Super Bowl?
Well, I would say no, and the reason I would say no is I think they played in the toughest division in the National Football League. I think when you beat,
I was talking about the
the Patriots.
Patriots. I said to make a Super Bowl.
Oh, to make a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Well,
Last night was tough to watch.
it was tough to
And
watch.
there was no injuries. Like there's not a position to where, even though we don't use those, but they still matter to a certain extent. Shep, there's no position to where you're like, okay, well, they didn't have the left tackle and the running back. Well, they didn't have the second wide receiver and the starting safety. Well, they didn't have middle linebacker. Like, Shep, everybody was healthy.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
As healthy as you're going to be for February. Everybody was there.
Yeah, it's a really good question because everybody looks at the schedule. My wife's from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So her family, what were they telling us in the lead up to the Super Bowl? Who does Matt have? Well, Matt's taken Seattle. He thinks they're the better team. We don't get any respect. That's what her cousins were telling her. We don't, the Patriots, we as in the
Right.
Patriots,
I got you.
everybody becomes we, like they're on the team or something.
Yeah.
We don't get any respect. And I said, what kind of respect? How am I disrespecting you by picking the opposition? Just so you know, the opposition's a 4.5-point favorite. I happen to think they're going to cover, and I happen to think they're the better team. That's disrespectful? I don't think so. I'll tell you what's disrespectful is if somebody were to say they don't belong. That I never said that. Okay, are they the best team in the AFC? Would they have beaten Denver with a healthy Bo Nix?
No.
Okay, the belief is obviously no. So I don't know if they're the least deserving. There's some other teams that you could think of in the past, like the Atlanta Falcons, for crying out loud.
They were winning.
Yeah, but
28-3.
yeah, I know.
I mean,
but,
they blew it.
Yeah.
But at least for a half, we were like,
blew it.
well, the Falcons are here.
Yeah.
Falcons are. This is a real deal.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I guess I haven't given it too much thought. I think they're in the conversation.
Like,
They're in that conversation, don't you think?
Shub, last night was painful to watch, and it was painful for a multitude of reasons. It was painful because Mike Vrabel didn't even seem like he wanted to adjust because he felt like he couldn't. You look at Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels looks spooked. Mm-hmm. Like Josh McDaniels looks spooked. I've never seen him call such a bad game. But once again, there wasn't a lot that he can do. Drake May, Shep, at one point in this game, I was like, they may have to take this guy out of there because it looked very eerily similar to another game that I was at involving the Patriots in New York. You know what game that was? It was the I'm seeing ghosts.
That's right.
Sam Darnold versus the Patriots. I was at that game.
Yeah.
It looked very similar to where if Adam Gase doesn't get him out of here, he might get hurt.
Yeah.
That's what I started to feel until the fourth quarter about Drake May. You can even see on it just.
If they're not deserving at 14-3 and winning what we would consider a bad division, who else would be in the conversation? The only other teams that would be in the conversation are teams probably that won the Super Bowl, like the 2011 Giants. They went 9-7, and yet they won the Super Bowl. Okay,
They won though.
yeah, they won. So there's the difference. New England wins, then you justify that they're there and they earned it, or just because they lost and how bad they looked in losing. They did put up 28 against the best scoring defense in football, the Houston Texans. I don't know. It's hard for me to say that. I can't take a stand. I would say no. I would say they did deserve to be there.
Yeah.
If not them, then who? If somebody says Buffalo, I'm going to punch you in the kidney because I mean there's no way. I mean Josh Allen screwed the pooch that day. We all know that.
Yeah. I know Josh Allen was like somewhere just like punching air.
Sure he was.
Like
you
night.
said, Sean McVay was.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. So I mean, it's funny if you look at some of those past Super Bowl champions, some of the records, like the 1967 Packers, for crying out loud, they went 9-4-1. But they won the Super Bowl. What difference does it make? The Ravens. What year was it? The Ravens went 10-6 or 10-6. They won the Super Bowl. Oh, that was 2012. They won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
2013.
Yeah. So, but they won the Super Bowl. So it doesn't matter.
You can justify it if you win it. You can justify it if it's if it's a hellified game.
Yeah.
Like what I saw last night. I don't care how many games you won. Like I watched. I'm just like, sheesh.
Well, I was watching and I thought to myself, how did that team get here? That's what I kept thinking. If this offense is this bad, it had to be more because of how good Seattle's defense was. And that's where I fight with myself sometimes. Is it New England's got a really bad offense or Seattle has an elite defense? If Seattle's got the elite defense, then how can I be complaining about New England's offense? That's the only question I'd have to ask myself and answer for myself. And I choose to say that it was Seattle's defense last night, but I think I'm pretty stupid if I don't acknowledge that New England's offense was in really bad shape.
You know what's so funny about that? They won 14 games, right? They won 14-3.
Yes.
Oh, now they should have won 15-2. Except they lost game 1 to the Raiders.
That's right.
They lost
I think they also lost to Pittsburgh, didn't they?
Yes.
Okay.
They lost to Pittsburgh, the Raiders. They played the Panthers, the Saints, the Titans, the Browns, the Falcons.
Who was their third loss to? Was it the
Jets,
Titans?
The Bengals, the Giants. These are all in a row, by the way. The Ravens.
Yeah.
They ended up beating them. Jets again. Dolphins. Like they didn't play anybody for 7 weeks to score more than 10 points.
So who was their third loss to? Was it to? It was to somebody that you might be a little surprised.
Raiders.
Yep. Raiders, Steelers,
and
Bills. They lost. I think they lost to the Bills.
No. They beat the Bills the first time.
They beat the Bills. Okay.
They beat
All
the
right.
Bills the first
All
time.
right.
It would be.
I thought they lost a close one to Buffalo.
Still looking for Buffalo the second time.
Second time. Okay.
Buffalo the second
So
time.
we call those what? Legitimate losses, right?
Yeah.
No one's going undefeated for the most part. So you understand. What did we say last week? When the Pistons lost, you said, look, it happens, right? And it happens in the National Football League. Can't happen as frequently in the National Football League, but it happens, right? Yeah. It's a Monday. That means we've got our movie lines for Braylon Edwards. He's going to have to guess those. We'll do that in the 3 o'clock hour. We'll talk more football and get more from the chats and the super chat. What does this tell you about the Lions, if anything at all? That's what we will dive into when we come back.
Also, too, I think the thing that was more interesting about yesterday was the halftime show, whether you watched it or not.
Oh, we can get into that, too, after this from Ben Johnson and Art and Jakes.
Ben Johnson, he is the fighter. So let him fight for you. He's been doing this for a very long time at a very, very, very high rate. Ben Johnson Law. How about you give him a call? VENfights.com. Now, remember, make him the first call, the first reach out if anything comes your way. Settlement, verdict, it does not matter. They want all the smoke, so let him be in your corner and fight for you.
We've got Art and Jakes at Michigan State. That's where we had the party in Lansing, in East Lansing, when they first clashed at the Breslin Center. Round 2's coming your way March 8th. It's a Sunday. It's a Michigan State Hoops watch party at Art and Jakes in Northville. We're going to have it for you right here on Woodward Sports. Can't wait. And then you keep it rolling Tuesday, March 10th. Legend Darren McCarty brings his slapstick comedy show to Art and Jakes in Northville at the same location at 7 o'clock. So Hoops on Sunday, March 8th at Art and Jakes. DMAC on Tuesday, March 10th at Art and Jakes in Northville. It's all part of the action. And there, oh, by the way, right there, this is where you want that beer that can go 4 quarters. That beer is Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Woodward Sports, back at Art and Jakes, as I mentioned, for round 2. Cherry Wheat is riding shotgun for the whole thing. Get $5 shorts of Sam Adams Cherry Wheat at any Art and Jakes location across Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. It's light, it's refreshing, it's brewed with real Michigan cherries. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Please drink responsibly.
When you have everything you need to get stronger, just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
News alert at Planet Fitness. All members receive their first month free, but the deal ends Friday, February 13th. That is this Friday, so make sure you sign up at Planet Fitness before this Friday. In 2026, Planet Fitness is inviting everyone, whether experienced routine gym goers or beginners, just starting their fitness journey, to the gym. Over 2,800 clubs nationwide. See, the numbers grown up a little bit since last time I did the read. 50 here in metropolitan Detroit, and then 20 plus in the West Michigan, and 7 in Toledo, Ohio. They're expanding. They're all around. They want you to be part. We're all strong on this planet, and planet is Planet Fitness.
Did you have a good time yesterday watching the Super Bowl? Did you have a good time drinking some Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea? You should, because it's real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles. I asked my son about this the other day. I said, by the way, have you ever had those? He's like, yeah, they are crazy good. Only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, perfect for tailgates, perfect for couch gates, perfect for going and, hitting the ball at the simulator and watching a game tonight. It's Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Get some today, and please drink responsibly.
And we back.
And we're back.
Anything from the super chats or in the chat that has caught your eye, Kool-Aid, before we shift gears and move forward?
Yeah, there were definitely a couple things in here that caught my eye. I got to start with Freddie Felt, though. Mr. Man of Culture in our chat. 199 super chat says, my ringtone is the Axel Foley Beverly Hills Cop song. I love Freddie.
Okay, respect.
I like that.
That's quite. That's perfect right there.
That's pretty funny. Good job, Freddie. Always appreciate it. It's good. It's really good. What did we glean from yesterday's game that the Lions, besides the defense, that the Lions desperately need? Because I think what most people think when they think of the National Football League these days, and I understand why, rightfully so, when you've got Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts, you have, quote-unquote, mobile quarterbacks. Sam Darnold is not that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's as limited as Jared Goff, but immediately Lions fans started using either this is the reason you can or this is the reason you cannot win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. On what side of that ledger do you believe you're at?
You can win a Super Bowl with anyone if you set it up the right way.
Okay.
And let me not say anyone. I mean anybody that's in the NFL that got drafted to do a job at the quarterback position that you believe in. You can win if you provide them with the right things. You provide them with enough weapons on offense. You provide them with some protection and a run game. And then on the defense side of the ball, you make the moves necessary so where you can be in some of these fights to where it's not about offense having to outscore. Like if we don't score 28 points, we're in trouble. Like if I don't go out there and throw 4 touchdowns, now I'm looking in the fourth like, oh, shoot, they're going to make a comeback because our defense isn't that good. Mm-hmm. So I think for Goff, yes, he can win a Super Bowl if all the pieces come into play like they did for Sam Darnold, like they did for Jalen Hurts, like they did for insert quarterback that's won a Super Bowl that you're like, this isn't an elite guy. Right. This isn't the all-time quarterback. This isn't Elway or Young or Montana or Brady. You got to make sure that you surround him with the right situation. I know that takes a lot. It takes money, it takes capital, it takes time, it takes scouting, it takes dropping your ego a little bit if you want to. But just looking at that, I just looked at a masterful job by John Schneider. I mentioned John Schneider 2 weeks ago.
You like him, yep.
I mentioned John Schneider 2 weeks ago. The same guy brought me in the office, told me what his plan was for that particular year. It didn't work out with me, but it worked out for him. Like, he legitimately has built 3 different teams. Like, I know people have been talking about that. He's built 3 different teams since 2010. Not since – this is since 2010. He's built 2 teams. One won a championship and should have been a 2-time winner. He can only be a GM. He can't be the coach.
Yeah.
That's on the offensive coordinator. But should have been 2-time champ. They rebuilt after they got rid of Russell. They brought in Geno Smith. Even went to the playoffs 2 years with Geno Smith. Figured that out for a moment, and then put this together in the last second because Geno Smith asked for out. But John Schneider is a competent GM. Not saying someone isn't. I did not say that. Because this situation fell into his lap as it relates to, oh, shoot, Geno doesn't want to be the quarterback here. What do we do? Well, he went out, got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold situation worked perfectly, but it worked perfectly because you had been doing all the right moves. Now, I haven't.
He was also widely panned.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, haven't tracked all the moves, so I'm not about to come here and say, well, he didn't do a move like Giovanni Manu. He didn't do a move like this guy or that guy. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying the moves that he's made throughout the years have benefited his franchise and put them in a situation of consistency, stability, and then when you get a moment, when you get that little window to strike, they strike, and they've won championships, and they've been pretty close. So that's what I see. Jared Goff can win if you put the right pieces around him. And back to my thought, Shep, I don't think the defense has been anywhere near what it could be to win a Super Bowl. And I understand they were this close from going in 2023. But defensively,
Yeah, you're 100% right there. I think when you look at Geno Smith, who Seattle didn't think was good enough, he leaves the team, guy takes over, they win the Super Bowl. The team Geno Smith went to is going to have the first pick in the overall draft, in the NFL draft. But I think what you're saying here is we got to remember the Patriots spent $209 million in the offseason on free agency. Wow. Yeah, that's what they did. Okay, so to try and reshape the Super Bowl team, to try and get to a Super Bowl team. When you look at Seattle, it's a team that used a lot of different methods, a lot of different ways, draft picks for sure, but also other ways, free agents, and of course trades to try and round things out. And this is kind of where it goes back to, I don't want to get into the Brad Holmes suggested of what needs to be done and all this other stuff again. But you have to be willing to adjust on the fly. And in order to do that, sometimes you need to get smacked in the face a little bit.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what happened with the Lions this year. Now I hope they look at Seattle, and everything's a copycat league, Braylon. You know that. Everybody's looking for a stretch 4 in the NBA.
I wish.
Okay? Everybody's looking. At some point, they shifted to really big goaltenders in the NHL, all right? In baseball, they went to the 7, 8, 9 guys when Kansas City won it, with Herrera and some of those guys. So I think in football, perhaps that is the trend. And hopefully Brad Holmes follows that trend where I've got to build this team differently. It can't be all through the draft, even as much as we may admire it.
Yeah, I think he needs to hurry up and figure that part out there. And the reason why I say that, because this is a copycat league. It's been a copycat league since before I played, since before you start analyzing. It's a copycat league. Mm-hmm. People have been winning this way and making these decisions before he was the GM, before he was the GM here with Detroit, even since he's been the GM. I mean, Les Snead, his former boss said, F those picks. And then turn around and won in the draft over the past 3 years. This is his mentor, if you will. So that's happened. If we bring up the Eagles, we don't have to bring up. There's more than enough situations over the past 5-6 years of teams saying, "Hey, look, this. Okay, scrap that. Let's add this, or let's adapt." And I think that's the proper word. You got to evolve and adapt if you want to become the best version of yourself. So I hope this offseason we become the best version of ourselves. And when we're scouting players, when we're making moves, don't just make moves just to say, okay, well, now we've got a DB. Mm-hmm. Is this DB going to be the guy that you know is DB1? Mm-hmm. Like, don't just pick up a rush in because, yeah, he can be on the upper side of the ball and he plays a little bit in the run game and the pass game. And he should be okay. Don't tell yourself he should be okay. Is this the guy?
There's a little luck involved too, but you're 100% right. And by the way, you were right. I misspoke. I said the Patriots spent 209. They spent 365. You were right. They led the league in free agent spending. The Seahawks ranked third at $243 million. Here's the slight difference, if you may. The Lions have young guys locked up. Mm-hmm. That might prevent them, and a quarterback with a big price tag. New England doesn't have a quarterback with a big price tag. Seattle doesn't have a quarterback with a big price tag. A team like Houston doesn't have a quarterback with a big price tag. Denver doesn't have a quarterback with a big price tag. Yeah. So Detroit's got that, but they also have some of those young guys locked up long term. Seattle doesn't necessarily have that right now, or at least as many that I can tell.
And I hope some of those guys locked up for a long time and some of those price tags, I hope even that's paid attention to moving on in the future for Brad Holmes. You don't necessarily have to sign guys just because it happens right away and you want to get away from that. Take your time, pay attention. You don't have to sign guys for that much money if they're not necessarily worth it. That's another angle to get better at, because there's some contracts where we're like, it's about to get real interesting.
Yeah. Now, like I've said before, spending money doesn't guarantee you squat, because Minnesota was second to New England in free agent spending at $297 million. The Giants were fourth. Yeah, exactly. They missed. They should have retained a guy. The Giants were fourth. The Bengals were fifth. The Cardinals were seventh. Yeah. Okay. The Lions were all the way down at $103 million. The only teams that spent fewer on free agents than the Detroit Lions were Buffalo, Baltimore, and Atlanta. So that tells you something right there.
It does. How much was the price tag on Sam Darnold? He's like $33 million. Is that what his contract is?
I don't know exactly what it is.
I think it's like 33 per. I also want to know what Tom was making when they won in Tampa in 2020. Only reason I asked those questions.
Good question. Yeah,
that's a lot of wiggle room when your head guy that you just got, like our head guy, is 53 chips in.
Yeah.
Like 53 chips in, and every year we're asking, like, is he the guy? Is he this? I'm not bringing that conversation up. I'm just more so that he's getting paid a lot.
You're right.
For us to figure out if he's the guy.
Hey, listen, and Darnold, 3 years, $110 million.
So 33
okay,
a year?
$100 million, 105, 100.5, okay? But you're right. If you're going to pay guys that much money, it's okay, all right? But it's okay to expect more from those guys, too.
Yeah.
Do you expect more? It's a much smaller scale. Do you expect more from Dylan Larkin and Mo Sider? Yeah. Yes, you do, because they're the highest paid players on the team. There's a reason for that. Why do you think our disappointment with Javier Baez runs so deep? Because he was spending that much money.
Chickens.
Yeah.
Right
on. There you go. So what's wrong with having that high expectation for Jared Goff? The question then you have to ask yourself is, in that expectations, what exactly are you looking for? And are you really going to blame him for this team not achieving what it did this year? I have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna blame him at all. No blame.
Right.
Just $53 million. But that's not Jared Goff's fault.
No, it's not.
That's the Detroit Lions.
For sure.
A lot comes with that.
Yeah.
And you're talking about being paid as the tops, like, because Baker Mayfield, in my estimation, has the same amount of playoff wins in the last 5 years as Jared Goff. Baker Mayfield makes $39 million a year.
That's a big savings at that
it's
position.
It's a huge savings. Yeah. It's $39 million he makes. Sam Darnold just won the Super Bowl. He makes 33.
Right.
And you're having these same conversations about Baker, about Sam, that you're having about Jared.
Dude, that's two players.
For $15, $16 million less.
Put it in that perspective. That's why the expectation is so much higher. And put it in that perspective, thinking, man, if you were, quote unquote, two players away, think about what that money would do.
Because the problem is, I don't care that you can't do this. When you tell me somebody's making $38 million, like, I'm legitimately blaming everybody except you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna throw a little blame your way, but I'm blaming, no offensive line. I can't believe Dan Campbell did this. Yeah. What is Brad Holmes thinking? The defense doesn't help him out. But as that number starts to go up, when you get to 53, I no longer care that you're slow. I no longer care that you can't get the ball down the field. I no longer care what people say about you in the negative or what stats prove to be your hindrances. I don't care about that. You got to find ways. Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you get to those numbers.
Mm-hmm. Hey, before we get to the movie line Monday with Braylon Edwards, you had mentioned halftime. What is it you wanted to share about the halftime show?
Not share, more so just ask. I mean, halftime is a part of any Super Bowl, and yesterday was an interesting one with Bad Bunny, the first non-English speaking halftime ever, and a lot of people had a lot to say about it. So
Randall Small said
see what we were talking about, and obviously there was an alternative broadcast for halftime if you were so inclined and you didn't want to watch the halftime. So I just wanted to know where people thought. I'll let you say Randall, and then I'll give my perspective, and we can go around the room.
Yeah, Randall sends in a $5 super chat, and he says, I didn't understand a word of Bad Bunny, but my hips won't let me not dance to his music.
Hey, there we go,
So he was
Randall.
all in.
Hola, mi amigo. My guy. Shout out. It was a good feel-good energy. At the end of the day, like, if the Super Bowl has always been about different kind of music. Like, I can go down the list of Super Bowl performers. I mean, we can start 92. What you want to do? Like, if you didn't want to watch it, you could just tune out. But the Super Bowl has always provided us with, different ethnicities or different cultural backgrounds, and you've always had the option of, at halftime, I'm probably going to grab a drink, grab a Sun Cruiser, grab some conversation, see what's up with these squares, which I did not win any yesterday. It's shocking. But the Super Bowl's always been people that you may not listen to in your car, and you can chime out. I don't understand what the outrage was about this past year. Did I like the performance? I mean, it's cool. Do I know some Bad Bunny songs? I know a couple. Like, I probably watched half of the performance, but I'm not in such an outrage where I'm like, I can't believe they did this to the Super Bowl. They did the same thing last year. I watched Kendrick Lamar. Like, it was an all right performance. I understood the people that didn't want to watch it. But now this year we have the alternative, which I know some individuals, in the All-American the All-American, whatever they call it, Turning Point.
Yeah, Turning Point USA. They had the All-American halftime show.
I just didn't like the name of it, like All-American. Like, all these performers are American.
Yeah, they are,
if you will.
Well, I don't think that was a knock on All-American. I think it was more about the fact that this country is celebrating 250 years, and they're having people who felt a little bit more patriotic than perhaps a guy like the Bunny guy. Okay,
Right.
So Bradley Gilbert, Gabby Barrett, Lee Bryce, Kid Rock. I watched it. It was fantastic. I loved every single second of it. But I didn't watch the Bad Bunny performance, so I can't comment on that. Right. But you can. But I watched the Turning Point USA celebration, and that's exactly what it was. I liked what they had to say about our country. I liked what they had to say in general about life in general, about God and things like that. When so many people are taking God out of things. We saw a lot of athletes last night. Kenneth Walker III, bring it up on a regular basis. You bring it up on a regular basis, which I think there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. I applaud it. That's how you feel. That's how you should be able to express yourself. So I really enjoyed the alternative halftime show that I watched last night.
I just feel like they talk so much about not bringing politics into sport, but that's exactly what that was yesterday. It wasn't just about America and the greatness of it and religion and this, that, and the third. Why do that on the same day as the Super Bowl where you have a non-English speaking, well, it's not his first language, you have a performer at the Super Bowl. Now we choose exactly.
He didn't. But could you understand it? Could you understand it?
That's what captions are for.
It's about celebrating.
I didn't say you had to watch it. I was more so just saying I didn't understand the reason to go to a alternative broadcast and label it this and make it about this, that, and the third when the Super Bowl's on. If that's how you feel, then do one of those this summer. Like, do one of those July 4th.
Well, they may
do one of those July 2nd.
I hope they do, and they may do that. But they probably did it because there might have been a call for it, because there might have been a lot of people who were interested in it. That's why over 25 million people watched it. So
over 25 people watch what?
25 million.
Watch what?
The Turning Point
you
USA
mean
halftime.
You mean just over 4 million?
No, 25 million.
5 million is the numbers I saw.
5 million, and then people watched it after the fact too.
I see what you're saying. So watch it later.
Yeah. So that's what it was. And quite honestly, they probably did it because of some of the things, the controversial things that Bad Bunny had to say about the country in general. So maybe that's why they did it. I don't know. Maybe they also did it because they feel like now's the time where you're trying to create a little bit more of
division?
No, country pride. I mean, you could say that division was based on what Roger Goodell did, since 41% of the National Football League players didn't want him. So I don't know. I mean, that's the thing about it. When you've got different options and not everybody agrees on things, it's not going to get any better. It's probably going to get worse, to be honest with you. But I chose to watch one, and I'm glad I did because I enjoyed it.
Feel you.
Yeah. So that's how we work there. When we come back, we're going to do the movie line Monday with Braylon. We give a line from a movie. He's got to guess the movie. It's not crazy. He's really good at this stuff. And I doubt that he'll be stumped this go-round either. We'll do that when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show here on Woodward Sports right after this.
Tell us about Sharon's
Oh, I'm sorry. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. I was looking in the chat for just a moment there. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, serving Metro Detroit for well over 40 years with reliable service and treating customers just like family. With winter in full swing, now the perfect time is to schedule a regular maintenance to keep your heating system running safely and efficiently all season long. And just because it's about to turn a little bit warmer, and we hope so, because I think it's supposed to be at like 40 degrees or so later on this week, Sharon's can help you with the air conditioning aspect too. They got fast, dependable emergency service when you need it most. They are experts at what they do. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. Check out their website, sharonsheating.com, or call them today, 734-238-3805. Tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Woodward Sports and Jack's Car Wash are partnered up to hook you up with a free car wash. Just text WSN to 888-522-1729 and enjoy top-tier service with free vacuums, compressed air, mat cleaning room at select locations. Join the Unlimited Club. Like I'm telling you, that's the club to be a part of. $29.99, and it does the trick, getting you access to everything at all 40-plus locations, upgrades, and all the 9 yards. This is what we do, man. Jack's Car Wash, Woodward Sports.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
It's game on at Art & Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art & Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
If you're looking to take relaxation to the next level, actually, I know that you guys are, so you got to visit the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, and it features top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. And you got to know that for your visit. You got to know that. Look, we got the Osaki over here, the Osaki Premier. Premium comfort. Got to experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at the Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at MassageChairHouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Caesars Sportsbook. What if I told you could place any bet up to $1,000? And if you lose, you get that bet back. Would you think I'm crazy? I know Braylon does.
Yeah.
Scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. If your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back, just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet is just $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Once again, use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
And we back.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's life. It's life.
We were just talking about Braylon getting drafted by Cleveland. Somebody in the chat had said, and welcome back. Until Dan Campbell, in so many words, until Dan Campbell says to Brad Holmes, let's go get some established vets, the Lions, aren't going to really move forward. Right. So I asked Braylon, how many coaches do you think are involved in that process? I mean, you have so many scouts, right? You have your general manager, your assistant general manager. They're out there looking. Coaches are scouts. Too, but how are they working in conjunction with one another? And Braylon brought up a really good point. What do you think got Sean McDermott fired? Remember, in Buffalo? He actually said to his general manager and his owner, Terry Pegula,
we need more.
We need more. We don't have the horses. I'm not saying that should be Dan Campbell's approach. I'm just asking, how much do you think that is part of it? And when I asked Braylon who drafted him, he said the owner wanted him.
Yeah. Owner Randy Lerner, who is heavy into the credit card business and his soccer league. This was way back before U.S. really took a strong interest in soccer outside of the Galaxy and maybe D.C. United. We weren't rocking like that. Fast forward, he saw the Michigan State game. He saw that game, said, that's the guy I want. This is my guy. This is the pick. And he never wavered. He never came off that. So you have Romeo Cornell, who's a first-time head coach. He's been a defensive coordinator for Parcells, the Super Bowl giant teams in the 80s. He was also defensive coordinator for Belichick when they were winning Super Bowls early 2000s. He wanted a defensive player. Like, this is what he knows. I got to get a defensive guy. Phil Savage wanted a defensive player out of, I want to say, Oklahoma. That was his connection. So everyone wanted defense. Like, that's how they wanted, which, trust me, I wouldn't have minded because I wish they wouldn't have called me. But, and also they drafted me before they drafted the quarterback. Like, how you draft like a wide receiver, number 3, and your quarterback's turned different. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Right. There was a lot of angst between me and kind of like the staff and the front office. And now looking back after I found out the information, it makes sense. Like, it was like, yeah, we got this guy, but that's not what we wanted. It's not who we wanted. So I caught a lot of strays and a lot of dirty eyes from Rack.
Yeah.
A.K.A. Romeo Cornell.
Yeah, not cool. Not cool. It's just a bad situation overall.
It happens, man.
All right, let's get to I love this game that we play on
Mondays.
Mondays.
Third overall check was a little better than the fourth overall check, so I'm not mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad either. But eventually it turns. I say this about athletes. At the beginning of your career, you want to win. Or, you want the money. At the end of your career, if you haven't won yet, you want that ring. You'll do whatever you can to get the ring.
You're so excited year one that you don't care about either.
Okay.
Like, year one, you're just excited to be there. Year two, after dealing with disgruntled veterans, you're like, I got to get this chicken. Because this chicken does not last forever. So let me get to this chicken. Let me get to this Quan. And then after like year 2, year 3, you're like, nah, I got to win. Like, I came here to win. Like, I think you're reminded. At least that was for me because I play on losing teams, so maybe it took longer to get to.
Especially when you come from winning programs.
Yeah, right. Year 3, year 4, like you're like, nah, I want to be a part of a winner because that individual stuff, like, it's cool, but like, I want to talk about the moments. I want to be able to talk about the time we beat this team in the playoffs, or the time I went to Super Bowl and did this, or this, that, and the third. The team aspect, is you got to win. You got to win.
Love this game we play on Mondays. It's called Movie Quote Mondays. All right. Can you guess the quote?
Okay.
This is where Kool-Aid delivers a line from a famous movie. You've got to guess the movie. You don't have to guess the year. You just got to guess the movie. I think.
It's like two. Is that two ladies? I see hoops on the right.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that's on the left. That's clean.
You know what? I think you're laughing because you had saved the seat and then you gave it up. Is what it was.
Okay.
But you'll have it back for your privriged other.
I'm just laughing at who made it. I'm like.
So I love that.
I
love that picture. I love that picture. I think
that's what I was looking at. Like,
I think it's because Kool-Aid just made you laugh. Anyway, so Kool-Aid's got a line from a famous movie.
Hold on, Shep. Hold on. I know I keep cutting you off, but I just noticed something.
I did too.
This is you noticed it too.
Yeah. People are looking back.
Yes. But this is the AI that we're trying to figure out. We're trying to make sure we get it right. You got the first 2 rows. Yeah. Are facing this way, and then you got the next 3 facing that way. They're facing the actual theater, so I don't know what the hell I'm looking at.
I don't know how many people. Well, in fairness, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 others, at least looking the same direction as you.
This is like a dual theater. Maybe this is like the future. They have like dual theaters with AirPods.
Or
like
you know what it could be?
headphones.
It could be a drive-in. I don't know, but I do know this. It's a very good picture because it depicts usually how you are, smiling and happy-go-lucky. Speaking of happy-go-lucky, Kool-Aid's got a line. You don't have to guess the year, but you got to guess the movie. Ryan's got one as well, and so do I.
Fresh out the gate,
Okay.
newbie coming with the stump the swab.
It's gonna be. We're gonna try. That's not necessarily the goal. It's just to show you his versatility in movie. How would you call this? Acumen. How's that? All right.
Versatility.
All right. Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Deliver the line. You don't have to have any necessarily, exactly how the actor or actress delivered it during the movie, but deliver the line and let's see how Braylon does.
Which one of y'all kicked me?
Chris Tucker, Rush Hour 2. No, 1.
1, yeah.
Rush Hour 1. He did it again in part 2 at the massage parlor. But you're right. That's part 1 in the Chinese spot.
Good job, Kool-Aid.
Which one y'all kicked?
Look at that. So, by the way, Braylon went 3 for 3 last week.
1990s.
Okay. So now you're 4 for 4.
1999.
All right. Ryan, you got one? Oh, you got the year too? Good for you.
Yeah, it's 99.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got one. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna get this because this is one of the best comedic movies there is. All right, we got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off.
Pets' heads.
One more time, Ryan.
No more food.
One more time.
We've got no food, we got no jobs, and our pets' heads are falling off.
Pets' heads are falling off. Would these be lizards? Let's see. Pets' heads, no food, no job.
That's a tough one.
You know what it is?
No, I do not.
When did it come out?
Ryan comes to play.
This came out in 1994.
No food, no jobs, our pets.
Kool-Aid goes, dang.
I'm sitting here too, like, wait, what?
I'm over like, see no man.
I'm not even seeing anything
No food.
in the chat right now.
No jobs. Cause I was about to say, dude, where's my car? And he said 94. What is it?
Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber.
Bro, it's like, I should have got it.
That's a great movie.
Can I be honest? I've never seen that movie.
Really?
I have not seen that
It
movie.
probably hit as soon as he said it.
Bird. I legitimately went, oh my God, it's the freaking bird.
You know it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it
wasn't
comes
the
back
bird
to you.
dead?
Yeah.
Dead to begin
the
with?
whole movie. Yeah, the whole movie. You know what, Ryan? Solid out of you. That's on me. That's on me. That's a good one.
So we got
That's
two.
on me.
We got 2 comedy movies. Good. Ryan's. There's a first.
Dang.
That's the first. That's the first one to stump.
I knew it was 2 guys. I'm like, what 2 guy movie? That's why I was like,
Good work.
dude, where's my car? And I was like, nah, that's crazy. It's like
Good
97.
work, Ryan. Good
You
work,
have-
baby.
You have to go home now. You have to go home and watch Dumb and Dumber. You will love that movie.
Okay, I will do my best to do just that. It's got. I know it has Detroiter Jeff Daniels in it, so or Michigander
Shout
Jeff
out.
Daniels. So I'll do what I can.
It's got Jim when Jim was still.
Funny.
Yeah, now he's. Yeah, he did a couple movies that like they blew it for him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, he did the one with
Liar Liar was pretty funny.
what's
Evan,
Andy
Evan
Kaufman? Is that his name?
Evan Almighty was pretty funny. Not Evan. Bruce Almighty was pretty funny.
Is Andy Kaufman the comedic /
Something
satiric
something
back in the day?
Moon.
He used to do the wrestling.
Yeah, and Andy Kaufman was he was in Taxi.
When he did that movie,
The moon, something over the moon or something like that.
Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. That's a different one.
Oh, okay.
When he did that role, like he didn't recover for a while. Like he got so stuck into the role.
Oh, really?
Like 100%. It took
Jim Carrey did.
Jim Carrey. Yeah.
You said, well, which movie?
It's the one where he did. Yes, it is Over the Moon. It's that whatever that is. It's Andy Kaufman when he was basically playing the role of Andy Kaufman's life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he dialed into that character and he didn't come out of it. I heard some of the people that were on set with him, including Rob Reiner, including some of it. It was like he was tough to work with. It was tough finishing that project because he was so into the character. He started doing things like as if Andy Kaufman. He was like he would do it this way. He would do it this way. So he wouldn't leave his trailer. He would talk to people a certain way. Like it was chaotic.
He became that.
He became that method acting, as they call it. He became that, and then it took him a while to.
They said it was like that with number 23 as well.
Oh, and he did that after.
Crazy.
That was after.
What's the movie? Number 23?
23. He basically just gets infatuated with the number 23. Everything he sees is a form of 23, but it's a little bit more to it. I don't want to tell you.
Don't.
Good movie?
It's one of those suspense thrillers where you're like,
I was shocked by his performance.
Okay. I gotta write that down.
What is he, a veterinarian, I think?
Okay. All right, here's the last one. You ready, bud?
Yeah.
All right. Get busy living or get busy dying?
That would be Lee Steinberg and Jerry Maguire.
No.
Oh, no. I'm tripping.
That's all right. One more time. Get busy living or get busy dying?
Oh, it's an old school classic. Dang.
Let me know if you need a hint.
I really don't, but I'm going to ask for is it? Yeah, give me a hint.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Damn it. Shawshank.
Yep, Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. Well done.
That's why I didn't want to ask.
Not that he said it. Tim Robbins, I believe, said it as Andy Dufresne in that. Yeah.
As soon as you said, I was like, I think it's Andy, but
you got it. I mean, just because you needed a hint doesn't mean you didn't get it.
But it's a difference when you don't take the hint. You know what I'm saying? When you don't take the hint, it's just you get a little more of a satisfaction.
It's got to be right. It's got to. There can't be any give whatsoever when Braylon plays. The movie lines Monday. So.
I remember my freshman year, my first touchdown actually was about to run the wrong play, and Ron Bellamy, like he saw it in me. Like that's the one thing I appreciate about being an older classman versus a younger classman is being able to watch when guys are struggling and that mental like. Shoot, hold on. I know it's ping, so I got it. He was like, Braylon, it's a post. I was like, oh, appreciate it. You saw me struggling. I ran the post and caught a tub. So I was mad I caught the tub, but I forgot I had a post route. The play's called ping. I don't know how I forgot.
I do like Ron Bellamy. He's a good man. By the way, have you talked to him?
I was kind of waiting for.
He's not going to be on that staff. So what happens? Do you know?
I think he takes a break for a second. I don't know.
Okay.
So I do not know, but I would say take a break for a second, see what it is. He went from coaching high school for 12 years. He jumped into Michigan.
State championships,
but he jumped into Michigan. That thing was a roller coaster, if you will. Won a national championship, and then how it kind of ended. So sometimes you got to take a break, man. I'm pretty sure he wants to dial into his family, dial into his kids a little bit. I'm sure he's made enough to, buy himself, a couple months to relax, chill, and figure out what the best move is. Does he go back to the collegiate realm, which means maybe traveling, moving, uprooting your family? His wife, her father's Dexter Butsy. So they've been here forever. So
yeah.
I don't know if it's that, if it's get back in high school. So I don't know what the move is. It's looking like I need to make a phone call.
Yeah, he's such a good dude. He really is. So that's the hard part. I remember talking to one of my boys about that. The hard part about anybody losing a job. I don't care who it is, okay? But there's a ripple effect within something. And you're dealing with people's lives, and their livelihoods. So it's a tough thing.
He hosted me on my recruiting trip. I didn't tell you one of my stories, though.
Okay.
I got a story. It's a quick one.
Okay. Take your time. I love these stories.
So, hosting me on my recruiting trip, he used to drive a Ford Focus. So, I'm sitting in the front seat.
Can you fit in a Ford Focus?
I could then.
Okay.
I could when I was 17.
Okay.
But, so I'm sitting in the back seat behind the passenger. Chris Perry is sitting in the front seat. Mm-hmm. Tyrese is sitting next to me. Tyrese Butler, play wide receiver as well. And then, Ron Bellamy's driving. Tyrese has just had ACL surgery, so he's in the recovery process. Chris is a freshman who yaps, as they would call, or as we would call, freshman. I can't tell you what it means. It's a derogatory term. It's young A something. You can do the math. It's YAP. You can figure it out. YAP. So they're arguing over Chris being in the front seat. He's like, man, you yap. You're not supposed to be in the front seat. And Chris is like, man, shut up. You don't play. He was like, you hurt anyway. ACL's messed up. So they're going back and forth. I'm talking to Ron, and I'm just like, man, these guys are crazy. So we pull up at this frat party. It was an AKA party or a Delta? I think it was a Delta party. Mm-hmm. So we pull up, we park outside, and they get out. And before they got out, I heard Tyrese say, F this. I was like, oh, yeah, this is a fight. They're about to go fight. So Tyrese gets out the car. Chris gets out the car, and Tyrese goes to hit Chris. And because it was snowing, it's December, he slips and falls, and then on the way down, Chris hit him and knocked him down. Man, we were dying laughing. Fast forward, I go into the house. Ron's like, yeah, he says, it's not like this all the time, man, so you can still come to Michigan. It's going to be good. Don't tell anybody. I can't tell the rest of the story. But
Man, on a recruiting trip,
I'm trying to think of
I
how
wonder what
to tell the
coaches.
story.
I wonder what coaches would say about that. You get in a fight in front of one of our prime recruits.
I've been in fights I got into a fight on my recruiting trip to help out though. It was to help the squad.
It wasn't this one.
It was Michigan.
No, I'm saying it wasn't this fight. It
No,
wasn't
I didn't.
Chris
Oh hell,
Perry.
no.
Okay.
This was like it was,
You went into the house, and then what happened?
a bottle got thrown, fight broke out, and it was just between two guys, both on the football team.
Man,
Yeah.
where's the harmony? Where is the harmony on that football team?
Well, we were on the side taking bets.
Oh.
We were on the side taking bets. Like, nah, man, I think he's gonna get him in about 30 seconds or so. But, you know, it
What was
happens.
your fight on your recruiting trip?
I was helping the squad out. Squad got into it with some cues, and I was ready. 'Cause I'm like, I was ready to show why I was coming to Michigan. I was like, as soon as I saw the fight break out, I said,
Can you explain the squad and explain the cues?
Omega Psi Phi, which is a fraternity on campus. You know what it is. If you know, purple and gold would be their colors.
Yep.
Frats always got into it with football teams. I don't care what the college, what the institution, I don't care what it is, they're always going to battle. And it was one of those situations, I think it was some ongoing beef from a bowling party where some disrespect, and they pushed a player that I knew. They pushed him, and I was one of 4 guys over there before the rest of the actual guys that were on the team at the time came. So I did my thing. You know what I'm saying? I got it's a little notch in my cap.
You had their back?
I did.
Okay.
Let them know when I get here, I'm about that life.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Crazy Cloud said, "Don't do bare knuckle, Bray. You too good looking." I was told.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that, man. No bare knuckle for me,
Shout out
because
Crazy Cloud.
I'm gonna tell you like this. One thing about boxing in general, all it does is get hit once.
It's like Anchorman.
You get hit in that right
Especially
spot.
if you get hit in the nose.
Like I can go with the best of them, but like I'm human.
Yeah.
You catch me, I'm like, oh no, where'd my legs go? Where'd they go?
Tough to get you though.
Yeah.
So my father was in World War II. He was a boxing champion on his naval ship.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
starting to make sense.
So when I was
Tough as nails.
So when I was a little kid, and I went to a parochial school because my mom taught there, and we used to get in fights at lunch all the time. And my dad would say, my mom would be, coming down and get me out of the office all the time. She got mad. And then my dad would say, here's just future reference, all right?
Let me show you something.
First punch goes to the nose. Because what happens? I said, I don't know. He goes, because you go like this. And he says, the next kick, you know where it goes. Fight's over.
This is true.
So
See, now you're Jeremy Fears.
no.
Now you're Jeremy Fears.
God, I thought Jeremy Fears was fantastic.
I thought he was getting benched. Boy, was I wrong.
He played 40 minutes.
I don't even know if I'm gonna play him. Shut up.
he was really good. Speaking of that,
I'm
we've
not
got
mad, by the way. He should have played it.
Yeah, we got Braylon's Ballers and Bums. All right, we've got that coming up. All right, don't forget that. We've got that coming up. And I've got a little trivia question for you regarding the National Football League. Something has recently happened that you might be interested in, but it's only been done by 4 individuals. I'm going to give you that question and the answer. Ryan's got ready to reveal it on the back wall when we come back. After this from Dr. Pierce and Buddies, which I had yesterday during Super Bowl 60, and it was delish.
Ooh, I want to hear more about that, but let me tell you about Dr. Pierce. He is the injury insider. Hopefully, we can get him back in the studio on the way from Florida, but until then, I'll tell you about this.
That's right, he's in
248-426-9944. He is Doc in our eyes. He can diagnose anything. Want to make sure that you have the right diagnosis: neck, elbow pain, back, knee. It's not about having a diagnosis. It's about having the right diagnosis. And this is the guy that we trust. Michigan Sports and Spine. Catch him on Big D Energy on Tuesday. Right here, the regular of the show is Shep on Thursday.
Yeah, Buddy's Pizza, Bray, I had yesterday. Got an 8-piece pizza, half with pepperoni, half extra cheese, because my wife doesn't eat red meat. Okay. And then we got a salad with chicken in it, and it was spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. Loved every single second of it. It was solid. You're right. It was fire. So you can save 20% off your next catering order of $200 or more when you order using the promo code Woodward20. Visit buddiespizza.com. It's a really easy website to navigate. It's the best original Detroit-style pizza. See, they're in a hurry right now. The fire department's in a hurry right now to go get some buddies. They're on their way. There's a couple of buddies right down the road here on Woodward. and one near you because there's 20 locations. Enjoy Buddy'sPizza.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
When you have everything you need to get stronger, just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Bar and grill still a sizzle above the rest. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This Saturday is Valentine's Day. So, you want to make sure you have your plans. Make sure you spend your Valentine's Day with Baligian Rock Bar and Grill. Rock's Valentine's Day is the hottest steakhouse around. The only thing hotter than your date is steak on the stone. Bring your loved one in for a night to remember the Valentine's Day. But remember, priority seating is a must, so reserve your seat. Call now. Call today if you want to get ahead of the curve. And then also, remember, 20% off your total food bill. All you need to do is mention Woodward Sports and we will make it happen for you. Black Rock Bar and Grill, it's not just an experience, it's a top line.
You want to look hot for your day, right? And if you want to do that, then you've got to go to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Make it really simple, make it quick, make it easy. You go in, you sign in. Next thing you know, you're in the chair, you're getting the best haircut of your life. You're walking out, and you look like you're Valentine's Day worthy. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. 28 locations in Michigan. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
And we back.
Just saw one of those lovely Lady Jane's ladies outside, and I said, "How you doing today?" And she said, "I'm doing amazing." And I said, "Good for you." I said, "I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that." I said, that makes my day. She says, "You got to stay positive in life." I'm like, "Good for you."
Flips the energy around, right?
It does.
Two jokes about the Super Bowl. One, they said nobody had a Super Bowl performance that bad named Drake since last year. And then two, Let's get Shepard in on that. The Kendrick and Drake beef. If you
Yeah,
will.
right,
There you go.
right.
And then the second one
Because
was
Kendrick Lamar was really good last year.
He was.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
100%
yeah.
was. A lot of shots at Drake he took, so it was a rough Super Bowl for Drake, if you will. A lot of symbolism there. And the second joke was A.J. Barner was not the first any touchdown scorer for the Super Bowl. It was actually Bad Bunny when he spiked the ball at halftime. So
Gotcha.
there you go.
All
If you
right.
lost that bet, it's because of Bad Bunny.
A.J. Barner's turned out to be a pretty good tight end.
Guess what school he went to?
Yes. I love the representation, by the way, the local representation
Got to,
on both teams. And Kenneth Walker, the third winning MVP, good for him.
I've said nothing but positive things about him.
I know. You've always liked him.
Because I didn't like that he got shafted. Yes, I said shafted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that he got shafted as it relates to the Heisman. I didn't say he should have won. He definitely should have been there.
100%.
They disrespected him. I watched it with my own eyes. It was him. There was nobody else on that Michigan State, including offensive line. So he got shafted, and he gets his due diligence. He didn't get drafted first round, second round running back, and now he's an MVP representative.
Braylon, I believe he's the only player in history to win the Doak Walker Award and not be invited to New York. So that tells you something right there.
100%.
I do want to. We want to talk a little bit about a really cool event tonight, and that's Kool-Aid's going to be hosting a Pistons watch party as the Pistons take on Charlotte.
Pull up.
Okay, as the Pistons take on Charlotte. Charlotte is actually playing good ball. They're a couple games under 500. Kool-Aid will give us a preview of that coming up.
They're
here.
the weirdest team.
It's strange.
Charlotte
isn't it?
will get blown out by the Wizards by like 30, and then turn around and beat OKC by like 10.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy.
That's like Charlotte the last 2 years.
Although the Pistons just lost to the Wizards too. We'll see what happens. They've won, I think, 8 in a row and 9 of 10 to get to within 2 games of 500. But we'll see what happens. So we'll get that here in a moment. We want to do Braylon's bums and ballers, or ballers and bums. But first, if Ryan could put this up without Braylon looking, I've got a cool little trivia question. Ready?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you this question. You can put it up there, Rye. And
we had it blurred out on the bottom just in case, so he can see.
Yeah, that's smart.
I can't
Okay.
tell what the hell that is. It looks like Ugga. Like the pit bull from UCLA.
Try not to look at the screen, and try not to because I firmly believe that you're going to get this little trivia question. Okay. And here it is. Only 4 players in the history of football have won the Heisman Trophy, the College National Championship, and a Super Bowl. Heisman, National Championship, Super Bowl. Without looking up, give me your best bet at the 4 to have done that.
Reggie
Bush,
Charles Woodson.
Reggie Bush, Charles Woodson is correct. There's 2. The other, a little bit older school. I'll give you a slight hint. Both are running backs. One is from a current but recently added Big Ten team. The other is from an ACC squad.
Recent but current added. Okay. So recent. So that's USC.
Correct.
So that's okay. That's Marcus.
Right, Marcus Allen. So 3 out of 4. I knew you'd get those 3. The tricky one is the last one.
Heisman,
National Championship,
and Super Bowl. And this is an older period as well?
Older period, running back, ACC team that used to have a really good football program. Now, I would say not so much. I would say middle of the road ACC team.
All right, let's see. Heisman running backs. Super Bowl, Heisman, Super Bowl.
One more clue for you. This guy's alma mater played in the Game Above Bowl last year. Not this year, but last year. They played Toledo and is coached by a former Spartan defensive coordinator.
Pitt.
Correct.
Tony Dorsett.
Right. There you go. Those are the 4 names.
Here we go.
Those are the 4 names. All right?
It's
Isn't that
a
cool?
good graphic.
It is. It's really
the
good.
The first 2 are easy because I will always remember that Reggie Bush won the Super Bowl, and they legitimately handed the microphone to Kim Kardashian. Like, I will never forget that moment as long as I live. And I know Reggie. Yeah. So, like, we were at Live that night, partying up in Miami. It's the first question I asked her. Crazy, I was like, damn. I said, and he didn't jump in either.
Because he was dating her.
Right.
Right.
So,
Okay.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have been
Yeah.
like, excuse me.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I just wanted people to know why she was there. That's
She
all.
didn't
Yeah.
catch one pass, had 1 yard rushing, and none of that. Get over here. We'll bring you in a second.
Right.
But she took, like, and the interview, like, the question went to her.
Yeah. It's
So,
great.
yeah,
Stupid.
that's all I remember. And then Marcus Allen, I got stories about him. He's
I
at,
would be like, excuse me.
man, excuse me. Like Marcus Allen. So this is my this is after the Rose Bowl. We play Texas, lose to Texas. We go to Mastro's, which is my favorite steakhouse in the country. We go to Mastro's and we're sitting down, and my dad sets up. This is kind of like that end of college dinner with my parents. I done hired an agent, so now Lamont Smith is there representing my agent. My marketing guy was there, Reed Bergman. Marcus Allen was there. And Marcus likes the whole court. Like, Marcus never met a Mike he didn't like. He never met a Mary he didn't like. Like, Marcus was sitting in there, and the show became about him. I brought up OJ. Whew, it's like he saw a ghost. And then he just had this whole conversation. But, like, let's just say Marcus Allen does not like OJ.
Really?
Yeah, 1,000%. But also, too, I heard that, never mind, it's too much tea. That's too much.
That's okay.
Let's just say OJ wasn't the only one messing with Nicole Smith.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, neither was Ron Goldman, apparently.
Oh.
Johnny Majors was the head coach. When Tony Dorsett and Pitt won the national championship. And I wish Pitt would go back to that look, because I think it's badass. I really do. I think it's really cool. I used to love those Pitt uniforms. When Hugh Green was on that team, eventually Dan Marino was on that team, eventually Tony Dorsett was on that team, Tony Siragusa, our mutual friend Mark Spindler. A lot of pretty good players came out of the University of Pittsburgh. Of course, Aaron Donald, might be the best of them all.
Shoot, too bad you couldn't add, because I think Marcus has an MVP. I think maybe. I know Charles has a Defensive Player of the Year. I think Tony Dorsett has an MVP. You can add to that. But Reggie doesn't have it.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Tony Dorsett was named MVP.
I don't know. I was just throwing it out there. I'm trying to think.
Let's get to.
I guess Roger Staubach would have been MVP of those teams.
Probably, since
that's 70. That's like 73.
Yeah, 74, 75. Yeah, back in those days. I can look that up for Tony Dorsett if you talk amongst yourself. Tony Dorsett is a Hall of Famer, 4-time pro.
It just makes sense that he would have one in that time. But then maybe not.
He was.
Earl Campbell won around that time too.
He was the UPI Rookie of the Year, AP Offensive Rookie of the Year, UPI NFC MVP back in 1981 for Tony Dorsett.
He's also one of those guys that crossed that picket line and people was pissed about that money in terms of like 87. Like, well, when they had the picket strike, he's one of the guys that crossed to get that money.
Oh, so he damaged some feelings there, huh? Interesting. Okay.
Those guys still feel that way about
that was 82,
too.
right? It was 1982.
82.
Right? Okay. Let's get to Braylon's bums and ballers, shall we? Who's your bum and who's your baller? Every Monday we do this. Yeah. We get the best and the worst of the week that you might say. I actually did have Jeremy Fears as my Braylon's baller.
Deserving.
He was the best player on the floor in the comeback win over Illinois. Started and played 40 minutes, as we said. He pumped in 26 points, 11 of those 26 coming in overtime, including the big 3-point play to go ahead on this with just under 2 minutes to go against a really good Illinois team. I mean, that ranked 5th in the country, really good Illinois team. But on top of that, Jeremy Fears also had 15 assists, which is the 4th most ever in Breslin Center history. So I kind of went with my Braylon brawler, Jeremy Fears.
We were talking about this on Friday, talking about what would he have to potentially do. Obviously, because of a couple of situations, instances, a lot of people may be docking him as it relates to Big Ten Player of the Year. Is there a chance, and this was the conversation I asked, based on how he played down the stretch, big win against Illinois, Michigan March 8th, is there a way he's still in this contention?
For Big Ten Player of the Year?
Yeah.
I do believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I don't have a vote anymore, but I think what it is that some people have a hard time separating themselves from that standpoint. Yeah. When my point has always been, look, I mean, young guys are going to make mistakes. Okay. How much do you think they should be punished? Are they going to learn from that mistake? Okay. Yeah. I believe people deserve second chances. I believe especially young people who get wiser as they grow older. So I thought he played really well. Anyway.
Yeah. My bums and ballers, I feel like I should have taken my time and done a better one, but for bums, I think I got Josh Allen. I got Josh Allen as my bum, and the reason why Josh Allen is my bum is because of him pooping the bed. I had to sit through Drake May and the New England Patriots in that Super Bowl. So Josh Allen, I'm sorry, I'm still sticking it to you until you turn the conversation. But
did you read about what happened to him? By the way,
he got hurt.
That he had four broken bones in his foot.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had 4 broken bones in his foot. I don't know if that matters much. Okay, there are excuses, and others there are explanations.
Yeah, he doesn't make excuses. So like, if that were the case, I would truly believe it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. He played like it, so yeah, I get it. All right. So my bum, you didn't go with your hero yet, or not your hero, but your baller. My bum is Emmanuel Clase. You know, we find out that the Guardians closer, who was indicted on charges in November on rigging bets on pitches thrown, is alleged to have now done that in 48 games.
Oh.
And that he's the guy who really set the scheme in motion, not necessarily Luis Ortiz, who also contributed, but the allegation is that it was Clase who's the one who made the contact.
Right.
And that's how things kind of moved forward, all right? $5,000 they made on him and Ortiz on throwing a ball to at one specific time. $7,000 on a June 7th game against the Cardinals. The other game was a June 15th game against the Mariners. Not that it's a huge deal, but the Guardians lost both games. Not saying it's because of those pitches,
right.
But they've got a lot on those two guys. He's the guy who kind of set it up. He's the reason he's my Braylon's bum of the day.
Let me ask you this question. Like, is this ever going to go away? Like, because it's just interesting to me that players feel like they can find ways around getting caught, being caught as it relates to throwing games or cheating or rigging or gambling, if you will. Like, it seems like each year there are more and more and more, and I don't understand it. Like, you're going to get caught.
I think if you get rid of prop bets, it helps.
I got you.
Because that's what it is.
It's the player, the individual.
Sure. It's, and I'm gonna throw to Braylon on first down and 5 because I know somebody's got that prop bet or something along that. In baseball, you can bet on there's so much more to bet on in baseball with just about every single pitch. You get rid of prop betting, and you might find things where people are less likely to be inquisitive about it, if I can put it that way. Makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense, but I just look at it from their standpoint too. Like, y'all make a lot of money. Like, baseball bet, like, there's a lot of money exchanging hands as it relates to that. And you're like, I look at like what is it, MPJ? I look at like his brother.
Yeah.
Like, you're legitimately sacrificing a contract. And they're not making the most. Like, players like Giannis aren't getting caught. Players like insert $256 million deal. But guys are making enough. Some guys making $12 million have got popped. Some guys making $15 million a year have got popped. Like, and now I don't know. I don't get it.
And he was, not that this isn't a lot of money, so please don't take it that way. But from 2023 to 2025, he was making $2 million, $3 million, and $5 million a year in those 3 years. $2 million, $3 million, $5 million.
So a little extra cash.
So maybe need a little extra cash. That's what then speculates. It runs rampant. You know this. It runs wild where people start to go, oh, well, maybe he owed somebody something. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought that? We talked about this earlier in the year about Chauncey Billups. Who would have ever thought that when you make $100 million? Or Terry Rozier, who made more than $100 million.
All right. Now, since we're getting to the nitty gritty of it, like, all of it is idiotic, but let's come over here. As one of my mentors, my guys, Chauncey. Is there a difference? Because, like, at least Chauncey's was kind of like, it seemed like I'm not lobbying for cheating shit.
I know.
I'm not. Yeah, your father would be disappointed. He wanted
so would your father, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, like, some of Chauncey and that kind of like very discreet setup, the around the game, not a lot of people. That's something I understand. Like the internet stuff, I don't.
I don't want to make excuses for people, but Chauncey wasn't throwing basketball games.
Yes.
He was doing illegal betting. Okay. If a guy is throwing games, Terry Rozier, Emmanuel Clase, I don't even know if he's throwing games, but he's affecting the game in a certain way, in a negative way for his team, I've got a serious issue with that.
Yeah, if Chauncey was more like Jonte Porter, it would be completely
There you go.
different.
That's better. Yeah. And blatantly obvious about it, too, by the way. That's the funny thing.
My man was mad when he banked in a 3. That was the wildest thing to ever see Jonte Porter.
I don't remember that.
I remember
this. I remember that exactly, but that's the other side of it. Kool-Aid, like, they have 8K. Like, you cannot be doing this and then going out there and reacting like, like, sir, we need to see you after the game. Come over here. Like, what are you doing?
You really have to watch everything you do because everybody's watching what you do.
Every angle.
Speaking of basketball, I'm sorry. You got your Braylon's.
I do.
Who's the baller? Because the bum is Josh Allen, which might be, I think, the 6th time you've had Josh Allen as
I'm
your
just
bum.
having some fun at this point. I promise. I won't use Josh Allen again because it's really his organization. It's really not even him.
Not until November. But go ahead.
All right.
By the way, 14 days away from the combine. Go ahead.
Ballers, I have 2. Like I am hard headed.
That's all right.
Like when I hear ball, I'm like,
it's your show. You can do it. Absolutely.
All right. First one is Jason Myers.
Oh,
look at that!
Wow!
Look at that!
How about that?
See?
5 field goals and you get on Braylon's show.
I didn't say anything earlier. That's why I was all right.
I like
so
that.
Jason Myers, 100%, man. You kick 5 field goals and pretty much you had already won the game, or you would have won the game if they stayed like that. That's pretty spectacular. And also you made your 2 extra points as well, which is field goal distance. So he was 7 for 7 on the night and didn't even come close to missing one. So shout out to him. Good job by you. You didn't win MVP, but you won Braylon's Baller on this Monday.
Nice.
And then one last one, Shep, is I want to give a little love to Team USA and the Olympics. I'm going to give some love to my guy, Ilya Malinin. He won men's open. He won the men's open figure free state as well as the team.
He's the one who did the flip, right?
He is the one who did the flip.
That's
There
nice.
you go. So he got a gold medal. First time they won a gold medal in a very, very long time.
It's a badass outfit.
This was way more interesting than the Super Bowl because I watched the Olympics before the Super Bowl and then a little bit after.
Love that.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I love the Olympics though. It doesn't matter.
I
which
love
one
the
it
Olympics
is.
too. It's where you actually start watching events that you never would have watched before.
100%.
Some breaking news. Sorry, Kool-Aid, I don't want to steal your thunder here, but apparently Illich Sports and Entertainment has entered a first-of-its-kind partnership with Major League Baseball, which is going to provide broadcast support to both the Tigers and the Red Wings.
This is what you were just talking about.
According to ISE, the partnership will create a new platform where fans throughout the home television territory can watch games when and where they want through the same options that have been recently available. Information on cable, satellite providers, and streaming subscriptions to be announced at a later date. The coverage on FanDuel Sports Network Detroit will continue through the end of this year.
Look at Detroit sports trying to figure out some things and clean some things up.
So that affects a lot of friends of mine in the business. So it's I'm a little melancholy about that.
I was just talking to one of my homies
Because they won't be able to go to the other network.
Yeah, I mean, they always use freelance cameramen and a lot of other positions, but the people who were working for FanDuel Sports on a full-time basis as producers or any front office person will no doubt that means this spells the end for them because you don't have baseball season, you don't have hockey season. In all likelihood, I mean, the Pistons are going to move somewhere. Okay, I would think over the air, but we'll see what happens with that. And so you don't have a network. You can't have a regional network without baseball. Can't. Baseball is vital. I would argue it's really hard to have a sports radio station without baseball.
Yeah, 162 games.
162 games.
It's global.
It's a really big deal. It's a hard thing to maybe not baseball, but it's I think it's virtually impossible to have any sports station radio wise without any play-by-play rights at all. It's so hard to deal with. Anyway, there's the latest news there. So they're moving on, and it probably shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody who's been in the business long enough. Tonight, there's a watch party. Pistons and Hornets. Our man Kool-Aid is at the helm, and we'll be ready to roll. Can I just say this real quick? Danis Jenkins earned a 2-year deal. I don't want to be hyperbolic here, you guys.
No, talk to us.
I don't know if there's a better story in Detroit sports this year than him.
Let's go.
I didn't mean that. A dude who had a junior college, Iona, St. John's with Rick Pitino.
Undrafted, yeah.
Yeah, well, I get that. There's only 60 guys who get drafted, man, okay? Yep. And when you're coming out with his numbers and his track record, I can understand that. So you got to be as a free agent. It happens, all right? There's guys from bigger schools who had better years that had to be free agents. But what he's been able to do, I think, is an awesome story, and I'm hard-pressed to find a better one in Detroit sports. I'm not saying nationally, because that's not true. But, I mean, a better sports story in Detroit than Danis Jenkins right now, who's badass against New York. He's better than Jalen Brunson against New York. 18 points in 18 minutes.
He's been doing his thing, man.
I was going to say,
42.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Danis and Ron, those are the two players that I actually got to kind of cover in the flesh. Their first summer league. That was my first summer league.
Yeah.
And I got to talk to Jamel McMillan, son of legendary coach Nate McMillan. He's currently the coach of the Crews and pretty much an assistant with the Pistons. Got to ask him about Danis and everything he said in that. And I'm going to try and get that audio from that interview.
Yeah,
please.
Do that.
Exactly came to true. And we were watching him in Summer League. I remember Vince Ellis, who now works with Platinum Equity, was with Freep. He was like, man, you can't listen, you can't believe everything you see in Summer League. I'm like, I get you, Vince. But there's something different about that dude. And we talked about it. And to see it come to this fruition, like we see guys show out in the G League. Like we see Killian Hayes going to the G League All-Star game. These two are not the same, though. Danis went out there and owned it. And with his opportunities here, even when he didn't score a lot,
you
could tell this guy belongs on the NBA roster.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is.
And he's by all accounts, a really good dude, right?
Yep.
And a willing participant, a guy who's willing to go out there and play the role. That's not an easy role. Sometimes you're going to play 18 minutes. Other times you may not play much at all. That is a hard thing to adjust to.
Might not get the same looks.
Yeah. He was killing it the other night, man.
Every once in a while, there's a Troy Weaver like empathizer, or there's a Troy Weaver conversation where it's like, well, he drafted this guy, he did a little bit. He also took Killian Hayes. Hard style.
Yeah.
Hard style.
I know.
Shout out Joe.
I don't even have to say. Oh, there's one a title though.
Joe said
they won a title over that one.
I know. I'm saying it was him who actually brought the whole Killian lore into the organization. He was actually on his agency for a little bit, which was weird.
That's why they don't like you. Okay. Yeah. I get it now.
Braylon's like, if that makes you sleep better at night, go right ahead. All right, give us an idea what you got on the watch party tonight. That's great.
Hey, look, man. All year we've had these handle your business games with the Charlotte Hornets. Maybe a month ago, it's like that. This game, they're 9-1 in their last 10, and one of the best teams in the East record-wise. Pistons are 7-3. Knicks are 9-1 in their last 10 too. They were hot until they ran into the Detroit Pistons. This is one in which, when you look at the Hornets over those 10 games, it's the scoring. Mm-hmm. If the Pistons come out with the intention, with the focus and attention to detail as it relates to defense, they're going to be able to have I'm not going to say an easy time with the Charlotte Hornets, but they'll be able to go out there and handle their business on the road in Charlotte. And so I'm looking forward to Asar Thompson continuing on with you're coming off a Defensive Player of the Year, and he said, I called this. He was like, after
Defensive Player of the Month.
He said Defensive Player of the Month.
Yeah.
He said he called it. But now his track is for Defensive Player of the Year, so I expect him to continue to go out there. And in a game like this where who do you necessarily go and lock down for Charlotte? They have a couple different players that can kind of get going. That's why I like that it's not just a star that you can depend on, but you got your Cade Cunninghams, you got your Ron Hollands, and everybody else who's actually trying hard. You're talking about that gas level. That's why I believe the Detroit Pistons are going to win tonight. They got popped by the Wizards. I don't think
I was just going to say, I made a bad mistake there. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
When I said that. I said you could play with that. It's one of those things you want to pull back. To your point with Ron Holland, I think he only had 5 points the other night. He was a plus 28. If you buy into that statistic, he was a plus 28. Paul Reed was a plus 32. Like, their bench was more difficult. Like they increased the lead. The bench did when they came out on the floor.
Yeah.
Reed a plus 32. Jenkins was a plus 22, something like that. These guys were unbelievable when they came out there. And New York looked shook.
Yeah, they fed off the energy. I mean, you start off, what was it, 14-3? That's how they start off, 14-3 run, and they just kind of kept the energy going. Detroit, not necessarily the best three-point shooting team.
Right.
They shot 42%. That's what I said. They shot 42% that night. So, I mean, you're shooting 42% as a team that can't shoot and playing that type of defense. You're putting that second line. You're putting that second squad. You're putting those guys coming off the bench, jumping them into a situation where, let's feed off this energy. Let's rock and roll. Let's keep it going. And then you keep that energy back and forth. They never had a chance to recover. They scored, 18 in the first and 17 in the third.
17 in the first, 18 in the third. So you're absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, they just didn't have a chance. And a final thought is I always look at assists to field goals made. Detroit in that game against New York, sharing of the basketball, 31 assists on 44 field goals made. That's a big statistic. And they only coughed it up 12 times.
Yep.
Okay.
That is
so.
huge,
So tomorrow we didn't have a chance to get into it today, but tomorrow I do want to talk about this team can win differently and how it has to win differently, even if they don't have a Robin. Maybe we can jump into that on the Braylon Edwards show tomorrow. Ryan, thanks for your help, man. Great job.
Ryan, good stuff.
Even though you stumped the man whose name honors this show, you stumped him. Kool-Aid, we'll be watching tonight. Enjoy for sure. Braylon, great to have you as always, my friend. And we will be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Don't forget the heavyweights later on tonight at 5 here on Woodward Sports.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.